UFC Vegas 70. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Main event, Ryan Spann fights Nikita Krylov. I'm going to talk about each of the matchups after seeing the fighters on the scales. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. Fight companion for the entire card tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:30 Pacific. Make sure you guys tune into that. First thing we're going to talk about, Armfield versus Johnson is off. And then Haley Cohen just said that she's sick, medical issues, and is out of her fight against Eileen Perez. So we've lost 2 fights. We now have an 11-fight card rather than the 13 that we had yesterday. Something that I wanted to note before getting into the breakdown. Let's jump to the new first fight of the night. It is Nurullo Aliev versus Rafael Alves. I have been picking Aliev throughout the week. I have to go with the wrestling style here. I especially see him landing takedowns on Alves, getting on top, controlling position. Early, Alves is very dangerous and powerful, but he gasses later in fights. Aliev, expect a chain wrestling style of attack to put on Alves. I'm picking him to get the win. I'm going to lean decision for Aliev in this fight, but I do want to bring up the scales and see if maybe anything changes. I'm also going to shrink myself down so we can see the entire screen over here as I quickly switch it in. Bow, boom, we're up. Right there, it is Alves on the scale. Kind of freaky ass biceps. Holy shit. He looks in really good shape, though, as expected. There is Nurullo Aliev looking very Habib Nurmagomedov-like. He's like the doppelganger, man. And there's the face-off between the two. Aliev, nothing changes with the pick regarding the scales. I like the matchup for him. Expect takedowns, expect control, expect a win for Nurullo Aliev. Let's bring myself a little bit bigger here and let's talk these odds. Now, betting lines, Aliev is the favorite at about -170. Alves sitting around +150. I like Aliev to win money line if you're going to throw down, but I will mention the decision prop for Aliev sitting at +250. I could see him locking up a sub of Alves in that third round, but I don't necessarily want to bet it. I like the money line attack for Aliev. He should get a win over Alves if he really does have that high capability. But it's not like he's fighting an absolute slouch in the debut. Alves still got some powerful striking, some sneaky jiu-jitsu skills. He beat Mark Jacasey. I mean, that's still a decent win to have on your record. But Aliev, stylistically, I think it's a bad matchup for him. So we're riding with Aliev to get this thing done as a slight favorite. And let's keep running up the card. Next fight, it is Joe Solecki versus Carl Deaton III. I've been picking Joe Solecki all week, as is essentially everyone, because the odds are crazy wide between these two. Deaton, he's not a bad fighter, but in this matchup here, I see him struggling a lot. He's going to be at a disadvantage as far as the height, the reach, I think the punching power, and definitely the Brazilian jiu-jitsu skills. Let's pull up the scales and check this thing out. See if anything changes. There is Deaton on the scales. Nothing's changing. The hair's gotten a bit longer. He's got balls for that haircut. But holy shit, what a unique look on him. The haircut on him. There's Solecki, shredded, ready to go. I like bearded Solecki. And there's the face-off. Carl Deaton just looks like he's a guy who's about to get ran over. He looks like the opponent in this matchup here. He's taking it on short notice. He's going to struggle. I think Solecki is probably going to win. Looking at the scale, I'm leaning finish. I'm going to say Solecki by sub. But earlier in the week, I was talking about seeing, I think a decision is possible. Right now, I'm liking the side of finish. All right, now as far as the odds for this one, yeah, like I said, -520 Solecki. I picked Solecki by decision earlier in the week, so I will read off the decision prop. That is +175. Solecki by sub, plus 130. Looking at that face-off, how Deaton looks, size differential, I don't love it, man. I think that he's probably going to get strangled out there. I like the chance for Joe Solecki to win this thing. I'm still riding with Joe Solecki to get things done and beat Carl Deaton, but I might be more confident now than before. I'm going to say finish. And if he gets the finish, that's what a minus 600 favorite should do. If they end up going distance, it's not a great look for Solecki. I'm going to say he finishes his opponent. Next fight on the card, it is O'Day Osbourne versus Charles Energy Johnson. I have been picking Charles Johnson all week, and I mean, I think for very good reason. He's got some power in his hands. He's starting to, display him in the UFC a bit. It's taking him some time, but he got to finish in the last one. I really like Charles Johnson's pressure and his punching, whereas I look at Osbourne, I like him from distance. I like his kicking skills, and I think he's got decent punches too. I don't like his hand placement. This is a guy who keeps his hands very low, and when you have an opponent like a Charles Johnson, who is a capable kickboxer, who has some power in his hands, and I think takes a better punch than O'Day Osbourne, who was laid out in his last fight, I'm going to pick Charles Johnson to get a knockout in this matchup. We will pull up the scales and see if anything shifts, but, don't expect it to is what I'm saying. There is O'Day Osbourne, whose reach just looks freakishly long. What's it listed at? 72? That looks like 85. Holy shit. And then there's Charles Johnson with the bicep flex and the face-off. Similar size between the two. You could say O'Day Osbourne is a bit more muscular, but in the fight, I don't think the muscles is a huge thing here. I think Charles Johnson matches him with the striking skill and exceeds a bit with the combos and ends up getting the win. I'm going to say he gets the knockout with the hands. Could it go the distance? Absolutely. But I'm going to say KO. Let me pull up the odds. Minus 160 for Johnson. O'Day Osbourne sitting at plus 150. All right, what am I liking here? Johnson to win by knockout is plus 315 best value. That's a decent prop, Johnson knockout. I think there's a real chance he gets the KO. O'Day Osbourne, not an easy matchup, but when Johnson closes that gap, I think he finds that chin and he lays out O'Day Osbourne. Let's keep on running up the card and let's get to our next fight. Jordan Leavitt versus Victor Martinez. So I've been picking Jordan Leavitt to get a win using the wrestling. Takedowns controlled. The stand-up game, obviously not his best asset. His opponent, Martinez, got some pop in the hands. I'll tell it how it is. Martinez can box a bit, and he's nasty and close. We'll look at the scales here. There is the Monkey King, Jordan Leavitt, who's got some fucking good abs for this one. He looks ready to go. His opponent looks like he had a hard weight cut, Victor Martinez. Yeah, he was on weight. Just wanted to double check. And then there's the face-off. You can see Jordan Leavitt a bit bigger. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those matchups where I think Leavitt is going to find success with takedowns and control. I think a grind-heavy win is pretty possible here. I'm not overly impressed by Martinez. I mean, Jordan Leavitt's grappling is still tricky. I know he lost to Paddy Pimblett, but Paddy's still, a relatively top-tier prospect, regardless of how you felt about that Jared Gordon fight. So, yeah, I'm going with the side of Jordan Leavitt to get the win. I'm not sleeping on the Monkey King in this fight right here. As far as the odds, you're looking at near pick'ems, minus 110 in most spots, minus 105 Leavitt I'm seeing, plus 105 Martinez. I like Jordan Leavitt to win by decision. It's not impossible he pulls a sub off, but less likely I'm thinking. Decision plus 400 best value. Leavitt by sub around plus 200. So I think it's more likely he gets the finish. The line's even. I think Jordan Leavitt's going to land takedowns and I'm going to lean towards a grind-heavy win, but it wouldn't be impossible for him to lock up something. On the feet, though, I will say he's not good. Jordan Leavitt's striking is not good. It's slow. Martinez has got some sting in his hands. So if Jordan Leavitt is caught slipping on the feet, could shit go sideways? Maybe. But I'm still riding with him, expecting wrestling, expecting control, and expecting a win. We're going Jordan Leavitt on the cards. Our next one is between Gabriela Fernandes and Jasmine Jasudavicius. Listen, I've been very confident on Fernandes all week. She's one of my most confident picks because of her striking ability, which I really think is high level already in the women's flyweight division. Her kicking is phenomenal. She definitely has snap in her punches and power. I can see her hurting Jasudavicius and submitting her. I also think there's a possibility this thing goes to full 3. Either way, I see Gabriela Fernandes having a bit of a showcase performance against Jasudavicius here. I like her a lot to get this thing done. As far as the scales, what's the likelihood of anything shifting? Let's pull this up. Let's see. All right. There is Jasudavicius. And then there is Gabriela Fernandes, who looks great. There's the face-off. You can see, Jasudavicius do got the size, but how many inches does she have on her? It says 1, but it looks more like 2. A little bit taller. So Fernandes is going to have to overcome the size differential, the slight height difference, leaning the favor of Jasudavicius. But she do nasty kicking skills, and I think her striking is just so much more crisp and powerful than Jasudavicius. I see a decision win. I'm going unanimous decision in this fight, official pick. And let's pull up the lines. Jasudavicius plus 110. Fernandes around minus 122 best value. And then decision for Fernandes. Where's that? Plus 175. Sub was sitting at very high, plus 750. She does have submission skills, though. Fernandes has guillotine choke sub. Then you see some decisions on there, submission. I think submission or decision is pretty likely in this matchup right here. But we're riding with Gabriela Fernandes with some confidence. I expect her to outstrike Jasudavicius. I think in the clinch, Jasudavicius might be able to wear on her a little bit and put her weight on her. But I find Fernandes seeing openings with body strikes, knees, a better tight clinch, and a win. So we're going Gabriela Fernandes to get things done in a fun ladies fight. That's actually, on the prelims, that's an exciting fight for me. That might be the most exciting fight on the prelims. And let's get to the featured prelim of the night. Erick Gonzalez versus Trevor Peek. Throughout the week, I've been going Trevor Peek. This is a very resilient fighter who can take a lot of damage and come back. Erick Gonzalez can give out some damage, but he's been getting finished lately. I'm picking Trevor Peek. And the scales, I don't expect to tell much of a difference between these two here. Let's scroll down. There is Erick Gonzalez on the scale, looking tall, slim, and long. There is Trevor Peek looking pretty jacked and ready to go. And we're missing our face-off between these two for whatever reason. I'll get a screenshot and pull it up. But listen, the face-off here between these two, what does it tell you? Absolutely nothing. Trevor Peek should be able to go out there, I think, absorb damage early from Erick Gonzalez and knock him out. I'm going with Trevor Peek to win the fight. I think he can pull this thing out. As far as the odds for this fight here, let's pull it up. Odds. Gonzalez is a dog. Big. Plus 190 line. Trevor Peek minus 190. I like Trevor Peek by knockout. He's winning all his fights by KO. This one's probably another one. Plus 105. I also think under 2.5 is super likely, but it is minus 350. Under 1.5, minus 185, minus 175. I think this fight's ended in the first 2 rounds, and I'm calling it Trevor Peek getting his hand raised in this matchup here. Should be an interesting fight, too. I think this might be one of the better fights, if not fight of the night. Especially prelim fight of the night, there's a real chance it's this matchup. Let's keep running. Let's get to the next one. It brings us to the main card. If you guys haven't, make sure to smash the likes. And if you're new, subscribe. It's Mike Malott versus Yohan Lainesse. I'm picking Mike Malott to win. He's a better combination striker. I think as the fight goes on, Lainesse proven to tire a bit. I think Mike Malott keeps the pace on him. Grappling skill set advantage, going to go Mike Malott. Physical strength, Lainesse. One punch power, Lainesse. But I like combinations over a one shot, especially at 170 pounds. So I'm going Mike Malott to get the win. Leaning it by a knockout. Could potentially see a sub. I like inside of the distance. There's Mike Malott. There's Yohan Lainesse. Should be a good fight. And see, there's the Trevor Peek face-off that we see the next fight. They got this all fucked up. And then there's Yohan Lainesse and Mike Malott. The scales are like both guys ready to fight. Face-off is like, yes, they're ready to throw down. May the best fucking man win with this matchup here. I realize I didn't shrink myself. My apologies. But you can see that face-off right there. It's a dogfight. It's a fucking dogfight. I'm picking the side of Mike Malott to do it. But it's a fucking dogfight. Minus 205 Malott. Lainesse plus 185. He ain't coming to lose. So yeah, this is a tricky one here because now I think it's a real dogfight. What's Lainesse by KO? Plus 350. He's got the power to win by knockout. Malott plus 210 for KO. What's Malott by sub? Upwards of plus 360. The money line is minus 205, plus 185 Lainesse dog. I don't think Lainesse is a crazy underdog. Like, if you're taking him, I don't think you're out of your mind, especially how good he looked on the scales. But note that the gas tank is a concern. He's got lower volume than Mike Malott. He relies on one shot. Could he land it? Absolutely. But Mike Malott definitely has a real chance to land multiple powerful strikes. So I'm going Mike Malott to get this thing done. Going to call it knockout, but I definitely could see a sub. Should be a fun-ass fight. Next fight brings us to the return of Tatiana Suarez. She fights Montana De La Rosa. Listen, Tatiana Suarez is a phenomenal grappler. Really nasty wrestler, a beast from the top position. Beat Carla Esparza years ago. I mean, you look, she had a nice run. Amanda Cooper to start things off. And then you see her, beating a 13-0 girl, Vivian Perez, 5 years ago, though. Beat Alexa Grasso, who's fighting. She's fighting for the belt next week. Carla Esparza win, former champ. Nina Muniz win, pretty top-tier contender at one point. Tatiana Suarez is a monster when she gets fights to the floor. Montana De La Rosa, also grappling heavy style, and she's got okay striking, but I don't think enough so to keep Suarez away from her. Suarez is coming to kill in this fight. I think she's going to get the win. It's her return fight. De La Rosa's not easy to finish. You see, Macy Barber decision, a Rougeau decision. I feel like I'm going to go Suarez, Suarez to win this fight on the cards. I'll go decision in this matchup here. It's also up a weight class at 125. I'm going to say she gets it done on the scorecard. So we're going to go Tatiana Suarez to win. And let me shrink myself down for you guys here. There is Montana De La Rosa. Got a, good look to her. Suarez, solid shape. This is not a bodybuilding contest. This is a fight. And these girls are going to bring it. But I think Suarez's wrestling is too much. And I like this body positioning, right? She's like engaging in her opponent's space. Like, she's like, I'm ready to fuck you up. And I think Tatiana Suarez is going to do just that. She's going to fuck up Montana De La Rosa. Unanimous decision, and expect a lot of wrestling. Some ground and pound too. Now, as far as the lines for this one, Suarez minus 750. De La Rosa plus 560. And let's see. Suarez to win. I'm going to say decision, though, like I've been mentioning. Plus 115. Suarez by sub is plus 275. Does she get a ground and pound? I doubt it, but it's plus 440. Suarez money line minus 750. What's Suarez to win inside distance? Around plus 125. Over 1.5. Like, this is a weird one. I think Suarez probably wins a unanimous decision. Suarez by decision isn't a crazy play, but it is only plus 115. It's better than betting money line at minus 750. So these are my, factors for thinking she wins by decision. She's fighting a girl bigger than her. She's also coming off of a really long layoff, and Montana De La Rosa is known as a quality grappler. So I think Suarez by decision plus 115 prop isn't terrible because I think it's real likely she does get it done on the cards. And I'm picking her to win the fight confidently as the bookies agree. But plus 115 is a sneaky prop as opposed to minus 800. Let's get to the featured bout of the night. It's Augusto Sakai versus Don'Tale Mayes, Lord Kong. I like Don'Tale Mayes a lot, guys. If you've been watching the breakdowns throughout the week, I really think he's going to put hands on Sakai and get the KO. So I want to really check out the scales in detail for this matchup right here. Let's see. Does anything shift? Do we feel any different type of way? There is Sakai. Like a jelly ball. He's always very soft in the midsection. Always very soft. There is Don'Tale Mayes. I mean, he's not shredded, but at least he's got some mass on him, some tissue. Sakai, he's got some thickness in the arms. Very weird physique, dude. Don'Tale Mayes, and then there's the face-off. Sakai looks like a big body, as he always does. That head's big. I think there's a big target for Don'Tale Mayes. Yes, Don'Tale Mayes is not a massive power puncher, but I think he has enough pop in his hands to drop an Augusto Sakai and finish him. I also look at that Hamdi Abdullah Wahab fight as a confidence booster, seeing that he was able to fend off takedowns from a guy that wrestled at the Olympics. Augusto Sakai, I think, looks to wrestle a bit here, wants to fight in the clinch, wants to make this a nasty, dirty fight. Don'Tale Mayes from the kickboxing range will shine, and I think a straight punch right down the line is how he gets this thing done. So I'm going Don'Tale Mayes by knockout over Augusto Sakai. And let's look at the betting here. Sakai minus 106, Mayes plus 115. Guys, the odds are close for this fight, and Don'Tale Mayes, I think, is clearly getting the KO. Mayes to win via knockout, plus 285, also under 2.5. If you find that minus 125, that's a good play also. We're going Don'Tale Mayes to win. I think he's getting a knockout in this fight, beating Sakai. Sakai's on a losing streak of 4 in a row. Yes, you can say it's very good competition. I agree, but it's still 4 straight losses, and Don'Tale Mayes, I think, still getting better. I'm going Don'Tale Mayes to win this thing, and I'm calling KO in what should be a pretty fun featured bout of the night between these heavyweights. Co-main event is interesting as hell. It's André Muniz, Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen's a good grappler. Not a guy I ever doubt on the floor. And you then throw him André Muniz, who's a jiu-jitsu master. I got to pick André Muniz. I've been picking him all week. I don't expect the scale to really change anything, but we have to look at it and see. There is Muniz. Holy shit, Muniz looks ready. He's in shape. He's not coming here to lose. Brendan Allen, solid shape. And there's the face-off. Yeah, André Muniz is taking him, man. I see André Muniz handling him on the floor. I think he's going to land a takedown against the cage. When he gets on top, he's going to be heavy as fuck. If he gets the back, he's going to lock it up. Brendan Allen gets submitted in this fight due to him looking to get out of positions and attack offensively, as opposed to just sitting there and accepting this spot. I think because Allen believes so much so in his grappling that that's how he gets submitted off of a mistake and then a counter by Muniz. So I'm going to go submission, but decision is not a crazy idea because Muniz has the capabilities and patience to grind out wins also. Minus 205 Muniz, plus 200 for Brendan Allen. Let's look at Muniz to win via sub. Plus 135. Muniz by decision. Plus 465. Muniz plays it safe. You'll cash big on that prop. I like that prop, though. Just at the line that it's at. Brendan Allen's not easy to finish. He's only been subbed once. It was by Trevor Giles when he only had, 2 fights? It was his 3rd pro bout. It's a long fucking time ago. And he's tricky on the floor. He just strangled Jocko. I think he can go the full. Muniz by decision is a sneaky Hail Mary prop. Moneyline Muniz is not great at minus 205, but I am picking him to win. I think he beats Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen doesn't have the punching power where I'm like, you know what? That puncher's chance is so real that I think he flatlines Muniz. I just don't see him sleeping Muniz on the feet. I think he might be able to out-kickbox him, but I see Muniz still getting this fight to the mat. I'm going André Muniz to win this thing. I'm going to call submission, but decision prop, that's a sneaky play with really nice plus money. Let's get to the main event. Nikita Krylov versus Ryan Spann. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'm picking Nikita Krylov to win this. Ryan Spann is a fucking powerhouse who's got a sick knockout in his last fight over Dominic Reyes. Nikita Krylov, consistent performer, very durable, a guy with a good gas tank, and actually has some quality striking of his own and some power too on the floor. I think he's pretty sound with his wrestling and top control. Ryan Spann, yes, range advantage, height. Let me just bring up the scale here. Let's check this out. Let's look at how these guys looked. We know the pick has been Krylov all week long. And let's see. Ryan Spann can't keep a straight face. He's laughing at him. Ryan Spann's laughing at him. He's getting a giggle here. I think Nikita Krylov got him, man. I think Nikita Krylov is going to submit him. 2nd round sub, I could see. Could happen earlier, too. It depends on Ryan Spann, how aggressive he comes out. Does he gas himself? I'm expecting a Ryan Spann who looks for the knockout. and comes out like a monster in that first round and tries to put it on Krylov. Krylov can absorb punishment. He does probably absorb punishment here and then goes on to win against a tired Ryan Spann, breaking him and submitting him. We're going Krylov. Round minus 160 money line. Krylov, Spann plus 150. And then Krylov to win by sub, upwards of plus 255. Yeah, plus 255 is a crazy good tag for that one. I'm picking Nikita Krylov. I think we're going under 2.5, minus 300. Probably a real chance of that. I see this fight getting done in the first 3 rounds. And I'm picking Krylov to beat Superman. People are on Superman high. They're excited. They like the performance you see against Reyes, and I get that. But that's not the Dominic Reyes that went 5 rounds with Jones. That's the Dominic Reyes that's gone 5 rounds with Jones, gotten destroyed by Jan Blachowicz, took serious damage against Yuri Prochazka, and then they throw him another power puncher, and he gets flattened by Superman Spann. Nikita Krylov should win this fight. He's a better technical fighter, and I think he has a better gas tank too. He's going to get this thing done. Nikita Krylov, submission. My pick for the main event, but we're not done yet. We got to bring up best fight odds, and let's close things out. Let's close the show with the parlay. Let me zoom in a little bit here. All right. I want to give you guys the Don'Tale Mayes play, of course. I want to put Don'Tale Mayes on my slate. I like the idea of throwing him in there. I think you go with a Don'Tale Mayes, and then if you want to go on the safer side, you could go with the Solecki and a Suarez plus 190. You don't like having these massive favorites on your line. I honestly understand. If you went Don'Tale Mayes and then you loaded it up with a main event pick of Nikita Krylov plus 240, you don't like that. Gabriela Fernandes brings you to plus 285, and she's a close money favorite. I wish that I still had my doggy style parlay, but Eileen Perez is out of the fight. That thing ain't happening. I don't want to go jump Jordan Leavitt in my slate all that much. I would rather go Peak. I like Trevor Peak. Don'Tale Mayes, Trevor Peak, Tatiana Suarez, Nikita Krylov plus 490. Let's remove Krylov. Add in the likes of a Mike Malott plus 445. Add in the Energy if you're feeling it, plus 490. These 3, I like this one here, plus 270. And this is not having, knockout props and whatnot in it. I like this one with Don'Tale. But some of you guys are not even on Don'Tale Mayes. So I want to make one that's, without the lock. An André Muniz, Trevor Peak, and Gabriela Fernandes play could work for you at plus 300. Be cautious, man. Be cautious this week, guys. We lost the underdog in Perez, which I was excited for. I was actually hyped for this Armfield-Johnson fight just by entertainment value alone. I'm going to give you a wild-ass parlay to finish things out, but I am by no fucking means recommending this as a must-play. I think, you're probably better off not playing it. We got Muniz, Trevor Peak, Fernandes, Don'Tale Mayes, Krylov, and Johnson. Something telling me maybe leave Johnson out and just play this one, even if you're looking for the Hail Mary. Keep it on the safer side. It's going to be a fucking great card, I think. Losing 2 fights, maybe this card's gotten better because now it's not as many fights, and then we get straight to the banger, which is the main event. But I'm excited for the whole thing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. Make sure to tune in to the Fight Companion at 4:30 Eastern time tomorrow. I guess depending when you're watching. Tonight, I'm doing the BKFC Fight Companion. So if you're watching this right now, maybe Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships is still going on. It's 9 o'clock Eastern on Friday. Check me out live. If not, if it's a day late, that doesn't apply to you. I got the shirt on repping that they sent me. So shout out BKFC for showing the love. Much love, people. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your favorite picks in the comments. Throw a parlay at me. And let me know your lock of the card. I really want to know what you guys are thinking. Thank you all so much. Smash the likes, subscribe, drop a W in the chat if you got nothing to say. And I will see you all for the live stream. Peace, guys.